Okay, so we're going to look at, what we've been looking at is finding the gradient of a curve. And we know we can't find the gradient of a curve. We can only find, at the moment, the gradient between 2 points and find the rise over the run. But last lesson we were looking at the tangent, and that the tangent is equivalent to the finding the gradient of a curve at a particular point. And of course it changes. The slope of the curve changes over time. So what we're going to look at now is having a look at what the tangents are doing on this curve. So the straightforward one at the moment is, if I take this point here and I draw some tangents on the flat points, those gradients are 0. That's flat. So at the turning points here and here, the gradient of the curve is 0. It's not going up, it's not going down. Let's say I take a point here and I draw the tangent. So you can see the gradient of that line, well, it's a positive number because it's going up from left to right. It doesn't actually matter what the number is. It's going up from left to right. It's got a positive gradient. We've got a 0 gradient here. And I hope you can see that coming down the curve here and here. If I were to draw the tangents in, they're going to have negative numbers. It doesn't matter what those numbers are. All we're interested in is that they're negative. So if I take the gradients off actually drawing physically the tangents, and I just put plus, minus or 0 on where I think my gradient is. So coming down here, all those tangents, whatever point you choose up to this point, would have a negative gradient. We've got 0 here, and we've got 0 here. After this point, though, they change, don't they? They're going up from left to right, the tangents, and then they're coming back down, and they're then minus. Now, you don't have to have all three on the curve. You might only have pluses, minuses, zeros. It can be a combination, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, so in a minute I want you to do similar questions in the book, but I'll just go through a couple with you. So let's have a look at number 5. And I want you to draw this in front of you and then think about where you'd place pluses, minuses and zeros, if appropriate. So it's going up from left to right here. The curve's increasing, so it's positive. It's going down from left to right here. The curve's decreasing, so it's negative. And it's 0 right in the middle there. The tangent would be 0. Looks like a person, doesn't it? So let's do number 2 together, and then you can go and do the rest of them. So I find it easier to put the zeros on first. So 0 there, 0 there, 0 there. Pluses when it's going up from left to right, and minuses when it's coming down from left to right. Okay, so I want you to go and do the rest of them. You'll find them in your book, exercise 8.1.